Dead by Daylight is a 4 versus 1 horror game where you can play as a killer that has to hunt down 4 survivors, or play 4 survivors trying to evade the killer and repair generators to open an exit gate to get back and out of Dodge, all to feed strong emotion to a dark eldritch entity through a cycle of death and rebirth in a realm of nothing but endless trials. Dead by Daylight has been granted a reputation. Dead by Daylight has gained a reputation besides that, though. Lots of horror icons have made their debuts in the game. Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Chucky, Xenomorph, and many more. And a little known horror icon made their way into the game. And I'm not talking about some of the monsters from Crypt TV. No, this is the horror equivalent of having Steve show up in Smash Bros. Springtrap got added to Dead by Daylight. Now, I've had some issues with Dead by Daylight. The game has made me crash out astronomically before, and I've wanted to like Dead by Daylight for so many years. But I can never truly get into it. I would return it again and again and stop playing after some time. But I just needed an open mind to actually enjoy playing Dead by Daylight, wanting to learn instead of win. Simply put, sometimes you'll just be put in a poor situation, and you're forced to lose. I would take long breaks from the game and play it every once in a while, but nothing got my attention quite like Springtrap. Springtrap is like all killers, but he does have some things that make him a little different. Because besides having a weapon that can clip survivors, like all killers have, they also have unique powers that can range from things like chainsaws, throwing axes, vials of poison, and other things that make killers all the more deadly. But that being said, those powers are a bit quaint compared to some of the new ones that have been added to the game. The knight can call forth his goon squad to chase survivors and destroy generators for you, or Pyramid Head who can make his own special way of downing and hooking people, as well as a skill shot that can go through terrain. Dude, what the heck? Have a little baby jit come out of your chest and gnaw on the ankles of your victims. Dude, why just not add Dracula from Castlevania and make him turn into a wolf and a bat, because why not? And add Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul 2, why not? I don't care. But what does Springtrap have that makes him so special? Springtrap has a trans-dimensional Five Nights at Freddy's office accessible through doors that can teleport the killer and survivors to other doors around the map. Each of these doors has a camera. Cameras can be accessed by survivors at the doors. If Springtrap is spotted by a survivor using the cameras for a long enough time, he'll be revealed to the rest of the survivors on the map. If Springtrap and a survivor are using the doors at the same time, Springtrap gets to jump scare them, grabbing them and exiting the office out of the door Springtrap came in from. On top of the ability to warp around the map, Springtrap also has another ability, his axe. His axe is a throwable that will deal damage to a survivor and take them down to the next injury state. If an axe hits a survivor, it's lodged into them and they have to take it out, or they can't heal. Or have Springtrap remove it by either yoinking it out of their back with a jump scare, taking place of his normal attack, or reclaiming it after a short time with his ability. Me, Springtrap. If it doesn't land, but the survivor walks through the radius of the axe, Springtrap can see where they're going with a heartbeat that he can see through walls. Now, after what's hearing in Springtrap's kit, you might understand that I didn't choose to play Springtrap because he's a representative from a game I really like. No, it's because he straight up has some stank on him that lets me play Dead by Daylight in a way that is fun for me. I tried other characters like Oni, and man, I suck at Oni. His power is all about getting hits, and I suck at chasing in the game. It's because I'm low-key a no-thought homunculus that reacts to stimuli slowly because of the multiple lobotomies that I've gone through. And I need tools to help me get hits during a chase, not a tool to help me after I get a hit in a chase. Thank goodness that Springtrap has a way to land hits with his throwing axes. One thing is that I'm realizing that doing skill shots isn't that hard in this game. Killers often have the issue of not having much map control if they can't place traps or move around super fast, and Springtrap makes generator patrols quite easy because you can just take a little trip through the office and be spat out right next to a generator halfway across the map. Now, is that saying that Springtrap isn't a little overpowered? I don't know, dude, probably. You know what? I don't care. I don't care about being overpowered, because survivors are D1 rage baiters. In fact, I made a little PowerPoint presentation to show you what I mean. Here's the top 5 things that survivors do that make me mad. Presentation by me. For one is running away. Not cool. You just let me get free hits. I found you. You should let me hit you. And you can just hide and cower when you see me. Number 2 is preventing hooks. I earned the downs that I made, and therefore I deserve the hooks. You already got hit twice. Just take the down, dude. And your friends saving you is kind of cringe. You're really gonna defeat me with the power of teamwork and friendship? What is this, the Thunderbolts? And taking down hooks with toolboxes is just cringe. You're not that good of a mechanic, bro. And if you're body blocking for your friend, you're just gonna get hit anyways. Meaning that I'm gonna down you next, and you're gonna get hooked. Because now I'm tunneling you, because you're preventing my hooks, and I don't like you anymore. Number 3 is vault and pallet looping. I've already had this happen. I've had to run around in circles and mind game people in real life, and I'm not any better at it in video games, alright? It brings back horrible schoolyard memories. I just don't like it. Why are you spamming crouch? Why are you spamming crouch at me? Why are you mean? Stop being mean. Number 4, using flashlights. Just because killers can't afford corrective lenses doesn't mean they should be punished. The entity doesn't really have that good of a workers union, and they don't have benefits towards it. I shouldn't be punished for going through pre-programmed animations. I shouldn't have to think about how I pick up survivors. Survivors should have to think about not getting downed instead. And flashlights last too long anyways. I could have people spamming flashlights at me the entire game, and it would ruin my entire flow. And that's just mean and not right. Using perks in general is also not cool. There's too many of them, and they're power crept and overpowered. Running exhaustion perks is just mean. If you run sprint burst or anything of the like, that's just a cheap way to run away from chases and make it so the game lasts longer. Running any generator fixing perks is also rude because it makes the game actually last shorter, making it so the exhaustion perks are better because you can fix more generators faster. Thank you guys for listening. This is the top 5 ways to counterplay kill. I mean, top 5 things that survivors do that make me mad. Thank you for listening. Talking about perks, here's the ones that I use in the killer's lexicon. I like taking an information perk like barbecue and chili. This makes it so you can find out where survivors are after you hook one as long as they aren't too close to you. And if you can't find any of them through the perk, then that probably means they're near you and a hook. So get to chasing, champ. Scourge Hook Pain Resonance makes it so 4 hooks around the map have their auras shown in white, with them turning into Scourge Hooks. If a survivor hasn't been put on a Scourge Hook before and gets put on one, the generator with the most progress loses 20% of that progress, as well as all survivors who are working on it will scream, giving themselves away, making it so there's generator regression. And the match will go on for longer. Phantom Fear is just kind of a gimme because of how good it is. It makes it so a survivor screams and gets really scared if they look at you. Making it so you can make survivors give themselves away and stop doing any kind of animation that they're doing, revealing themselves and their aura for 2 seconds, with it having a minute-long cooldown. Now, these perks do have an issue, and it has to do with the fact that 3 of the 4 of these perks need you to land hooks. To that I say, the issue is that if you don't land hooks in the first place, you're not going to get any sacrifices if you don't get any hooks to win, especially on Springtrap. That being said, you could use a few other perks like No Holes Barred or Tinker in place of Scourge Hook and Barbecue and Chili respectively, but I would say don't do that. If you can't get hooks, just try to get a 1k and call it at that. And if you don't get a kill, I don't know, dude, cope. Tough game. And with all that information, here's how I would say you play Springtrap. Step 1. When you load in, patrol generators using the security doors until you find someone. Step 2. When you find someone, chase them and try to get them to use a pallet or vaulting locations so you can get a nice hit in with your axe. If they're goated and you can't hit them, leave them alone and go back to step 1 until you find someone else. Step 3. Once you get them down, get the survivor to a hook, preferably a Scourge Hook, but just make sure you don't drop them. Step 4. Look around to see where survivors are using barbecue and chili once you get that hook. Step 5, damage the generator they're working on and return to step 2. If all gates are ready to be opened, all gens are done, do step 1 with the gate doors instead of generators. And if there's a hatch, go for the hatch and do step 2. There's also some nice, totally secret fun tech and nice tech for Springtrap to use. Like, when you're picking somebody up, face at a wall so they can't blind you with flashlights. Also, make sure you're not in pallets so they can't pallet stun you out of a grab. Springtrap can't be stunned out of his jump scare animation and guarantees a free grab after it's done. Springtrap is undetectable when he leaves the security office or any security door, making it so he can stealth around everywhere. Springtrap without the axe moves faster, so don't reclaim your axe if you just want to chase. and you move slower if you do have the axe out. Springtrap can also shut down doors and cameras by using his axe on those doors and cameras. But that's all I got for this video, guys. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for watching. This is the first time I made a video in a long time, but you know what they say, I always come back. Hope you guys liked it. Bye-bye. Till next video, fellas.